Paul,
Sam, how are you?
it's always good to talk or to see you.
Likewise.
Yeah. So this morning I want to engage you on something that we do all the time, what we've been doing since last year. But I have some pertinent questions that I'd like to ask you because people that I know ask me these questions, and when they speak to me, I defer them to you.
Okay.
Even though probably when I deal with you, I'd send you emails because that's what they're asking. But I thought it would be a very good idea to actually bring you on this thing so they can see you're chubby, happy.
Which is a sign I need to lose some weight.
So I have some questions that have been written down, and I'd just like to read out one of them for you so you can help me answer for people watching this video.
Sure.
So the first question I have is from a guy called, funny enough, called Jonathan. He's asking to shed some light on commercial finance.
Yeah.
And what he's really asking is that he works full-time in the city.
Yeah.
And he wants to know if you are in a position to actually help people like him that are property owners, but are not experts in the field of property and finance.
Yeah.
People like him access brilliant deals on commercial or residential mortgages because he wants it so he can actually delve into the area of below market value properties, which I know we've done before. So can you shed some light on, can this finance be accessed and can it be used for below market value properties, the type that you get?
Sure. Thanks for the question. The answer is yes. There's a part of commercial finance called bridging finance. And just as the word suggests, a bridge is a structure that you use to cross over. So from point A, say you want to go from point A to point B, but there's a little lake or a river there. You need to cross the bridge to get over. So bridge finance helps people in Jonathan's situation to cross over or to achieve a temporary goal. So in terms of below market value properties, the whole purpose is profit. You know, people look for opportunities when they go for bargains, whether you're going to a wholesaler, you know, for argument's sake, to buy something that retails at maybe £10, but you're looking to buy it for £7. So it's the same in property. So below market value property is basically, for example, a property might be worth on the open market £100,000, but for whatever reason, it could be a divorce, it could be an auction, it could be a developer who wants to get rid of assets at end of year for tax purposes. Whatever the reason, people do from time to time access below market value properties. The issue is, how do you utilize that asset that's in the actual property to purchase the actual property itself? So it's almost like you're using the property to buy the property. I'll give you an example. Again, property is worth 100,000, but your client, somebody's offered it to your client for 70,000. Now, we have what they call bridging or commercial lenders who will lend 70 to 75% of the market value. So a property is worth 100,000, and the lender will say to you, right, I will give you 70% of what this property is worth, so which is £70,000. Now you're buying it for £70,000. So technically, apart from the fees that the lenders will charge, admin fees, arrangement fees, and the interest, which they deduct from the loan, you're technically buying that property for little to no money down. Now, there is no such thing as no money, as in you won't spend a penny, but you spend a lot less buying low market value property than you would buying property at full market value, where you have to ordinarily put the full 30% deposit down. So typically, from experience, on a property below market value, you're likely to spend about 5 to 10% of your own money in, whereas ordinarily you'd have had to put 25 to 30% down towards the purchase costs.
Fantastic, and that's okay. So let me use some of my layman terms because I like layman terms. So we drive down the road and we get to Nottingham.
Yeah.
We find a property, and on it says this property is being sold for £100,000.
Yeah.
But when we get a surveyor, the surveyor says the property is worth 150,000. Yeah. So in the first instance, that property has £50,000 below market value equity. Is that correct?
Absolutely. That's correct.
that's the first thing. So then secondly, we call Paul and we say, Paul, I've already got a property. I'm meant to put down because I'm not a first-time buyer, how much am I meant to put down on a buy-to-let deposit? What percentage?
I mean, it depends on a typical buy-to-let. You're looking at 25%. I mean, there are lenders that offer 80% loan to value. Well, some even 85%. The only issue is the higher the loan to value, the higher the interest, and that typically eats into the yield or the rental yield. And once your rental yield is eaten into, oftentimes the deal doesn't work. So typically 25% is sort of going sort of, yeah.
So we go there and we say, we're meant to put down £25,000 on a £100,000 house. So what you're saying now with your solution is, so through dealing with Paul, because the house is being sold for 100,000, but the value is 150,000, the people that are going to borrow against it are going to borrow against 150,000.
That's correct. Yeah.
Which means that
70% of that is 105,000. Then they will deduct their interests. So the clients probably ended up borrowing about 95,000. So your client will then put down 5,000 instead of 25,000.
Fantastic. So Paul, we can do this with you.
Absolutely. And the lenders that I work with.
And the lenders you work with. This is fantastic. Paul, I'm really happy you've said this. Everyone listening to this, it's your coach, Sam Onigbanjo here, Great Business Platforms. I have someone in our experts corner, Paul, here with us. He's someone that I've worked with since last year. And if you want to know more about how to access this type of finance, make sure you join us on the next video. So if you're watching this and you're not a member, please sign up so you can get more from Paul. And if you are a member, make sure you are in the right pack so you can get more from Paul. We'll be back with him on the next video. So stay tuned. And the next question that we do have for Paul is, is a bit more detail around how we can get a deposit. How we can get a deposit, how long it takes, what we need to do, the small print, how we really get it. People want to know how they can really get that deposit. So we're going to talk a bit more about that in our video. So please make sure you join us. www.greatbusinessplatforms.com is the place to be, or our Facebook group. Thank you, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.